Okay. We're live. So, I'm planning on doing a bit of a physics refactor. We discovered some problems with the physics during Let 'em Dare. Right now, I'm planning on kind of working a bit on the whole mesh collider system, because we discovered some problems with the mesh collider that we used for the kind of ground plane in Forest. And I think where is it? It may not have been here. No, it's in the cooking factory.
Hold up, wait a second. I need to know your title. Turn around, I need a minute. Are you anybody's wife?
Yeah, exactly. The mesh welding or vertex welding caused problems because it was basically merging a bunch of vertices that shouldn't be merged. And so I kind of have to make it so you can actually control that stuff. Which I could just modify the actual mesh collider components, right? I could come in here and basically say, add bool weld vertices, kind of expose that. I want to take this opportunity to actually properly deal with mesh colliders. Basically, I want to make them assets, because mesh colliders should probably be shared colliders, meaning we should only have like one set of data for one collider essentially. Although because currently we create an exclusive shape, which means that only one actor can have a given shape, and that I think that's kind of required if you're dealing with a dynamic rigid body that can actually move around. But I think for static rigid bodies, it should be fine to not have them be exclusive, potentially. Let's see if we can find anything on that. Search exclusive. Hopefully they have an actual explanation for it. And of course they don't. Well, maybe they have it here. Nah. Yeah, they don't seem to have an actual proper explanation for what the difference is, kind of when you should use exclusive shapes versus non-exclusive shapes. which is so typical. But basically my idea is that we're going to set up a system similar to what Unreal has. Because in Unreal you essentially have the mesh colliders. They're effectively kind of assets that's, you know, part of the mesh asset. I'm probably gonna make it so like mesh colliders are separate assets. Well, that's not actually the version of physics I want. Cyanide for dinner, thanks for following. It's an awesome name. Let's go ahead and snooze that ad. What's up? Let's see. Convex mesh. Okay, so they do, in fact, in this case, they don't create an exclusive shape. Do you have any wiki reference about Hazel where I can know about its features? We do have. Let's see. This documentation page, it's currently very empty. There's not a lot there right now, but we do plan on kind of extending it, making it a lot better. So I don't think we currently have like a list of features. We also have the kind of main website. But I don't think we have any features listed here either. So we should probably get that set up, because it can be quite handy for people to kind of check out what features Hazel have, especially considering it's behind a paywall. People probably want to know if they can use it before they pay for it. Although it won't always be behind a paywall. Eventually we will make a kind of proper release that will be available for free, but that's way down the line. But yeah, either way, let's start setting up some asset stuff. Probably get rid of this demo graph at some point, because it's not supposed to be there. Mesh collider. Also, we kind of don't need to explicitly give these values anymore, because we serialize them by string, or by name rather. That's kind of pointless. This is deprecated. I'm actually wondering if I should just get rid of the demograph. Oh, I probably shouldn't. Yeah, let's get this set up. Probably don't actually need to organize all of that code, but it's whatever. I haven't added a new asset type in so long, I barely remember how to do it. Just add it here. Also on Sunday I'm gonna be playing The Witcher 3 for the first time. I've never actually played it, and I figured it could be kind of fun to stream that. I was originally gonna stream it on Saturday, but something came up. So, how do we define an asset again? Basically just need these. Clody, what's up? Why not use project absolute path for includes? Exactly. Why not? Should probably keep these parameters private. So I think we need a default constructor. And we need some parameters here. So what parameters do we need? Well, we need to know what mesh. I don't have access to asset handle. Yeah, I do, exactly. We need to know the mesh to use. collider mesh. Probably default initialize these values as well. See, because I kind of don't like the fact that I did this where all of the properties are public. Because if you modify this, it won't be reserialized like immediately. Although I suppose, yeah, actually I don't think I need to make them private. Because the asset probably shouldn't even, like the asset won't be aware of serialization, so. So, why did I even make a CPP file? That is kind of pointless. Right. We effectively need all the stuff that's in here. Pretty much. Also, I'm gonna snooze that ad one last time. The sublash index, whether it's a trigger or not, although I think triggers should be per shape, right? It's possible that this won't be shared initially, at which point the asset will simply store the actual geometry. Because like if this, yeah. So I think initially I'm gonna make it so that they're exclusive, because that's what we currently have and we know that works. Because I think determining whether it should be exclusive or not kind of depends on a couple of other factors, such as I think if the actor is like a dynamic actor, so it kind of can move, and it's not. Well, yeah, no, I think if it's just a dynamic actor, I don't think we can use shared shapes. Yeah. So, for an example, if being a trigger would not be part of the asset, that should still be part of the component. The material. So I'm probably gonna have it so that the asset has a material, but the actual component can kind of override the material. Because I think, yeah, I think that could be a good way to go about it. We don't need override mesh in here, because you can just change the mesh. We should probably have a way of kind of detecting this ourselves instead of kind of relying on the user knowing if it's convex or not. Not sure if there's a good algorithm for doing that. Let's actually algorithm for detecting convex mesh versus triangle mesh. Yeah, exactly. Convex polyhedron may be defined. Well, we'll probably take a look at that some other time. Yeah, that's the asset. Let's go ahead and make a serializer for it. What's up, Adventix? Yeah, also a quick thing before the ad runs. I have ads enabled on my streams now because I am Twitch affiliate. And there's going to be an ad in like 30 seconds. I'm definitely going to have to tweak some of the ad settings eventually to kind of make them not as long. Maybe space them out a bit more. I'm kind of using the default settings that Twitch has. So keep that in mind. I could, what? I could kind of define the ho, Adventix. Thank you so much for the subscription, man. I really appreciate it. I'm actually curious if you got the ad, because you shouldn't have an ad. Enjoying the dev content, yeah. So, you have ad block installed. I used to always have ad blocks on Twitch and YouTube, but I kind of decided not to. I don't mind ads too much. But obviously some people really hate ads, so... And to be honest, I don't really care if people use ad blocks. So where do we have all the... it's default. No, that's editors. Is it asset? Serializer where we tend to define everything? Yeah. So yeah, let's just pop it in here. Mesh collider asset serializer. It's a bit wordy, but whatever. So let's start with the serialization. Oh, it's basically gonna be this. probably make some utility functions for the asset serializers. Neat included. So collider mesh. So mesh effects. And the Pelicans decided to break, I think. There we go. Do I actually need to do that? Or should it be in the correct format already? No, it doesn't look like it. This is technically a bit more wasteful, I think. But probably fine. Although we should definitely do this. Right, let's grab this. Lay this down. Yeah, so let's do mesh collider. Could obviously do some more verification here, but probably don't need to. Okay, so we got that set up. I actually have to look at the documentation. Yep. Funny, here I actually did it as a struct, which, makes a bit more sense, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. And we need to add the serializer, the asset importer. Probably can rename that to just mesh collider serializer. I don't actually want to rename the asset class though. Where is it? Because I think we already have a mesh collider. No, actually we don't have a mesh collider class. I think. Yeah, we don't. Although we do have a mesh collider C# class, which is kind of like an, well, it's not really an asset, but it's sort of an asset. But yeah, in theory, this is everything to kind of get the basic asset up and running, but we still have some work to do. Specifically in the content browser panel. And we have to include it. New mesh collider. What should the extension be? HMC? No. H collider. Probably verify that we don't have that. No, we don't. Because I know we use like a specific extension for the mesh for the collider cache, which we haven't actually generated yet, but H collider should be fine. Because we may want to use this for serializing other kinds of colliders eventually. Maybe. Probably not worth it. And I don't want to make the extension name absolutely massive. Tell you what, let's do HMC. Hazel Mesh Collider. Yeah, I'm cool with that. And I think in Asset Manager, is it? We have that registry. So we have like a maps from a extension, asset extensions. Here we go. Merge collider. There we go. I think that's all we have to do to make this work. Obviously, still have to make like an editor window, and I actually want to make the editor window kind of a bit more interesting by actually letting you like preview the collider, a bit like our mesh viewer panel, which doesn't actually work, I don't think, but essentially just create a viewport in this particular panel and show and just show like the collider preview. But this should be enough for just to kind of be able to make the asset.
Is it true? You actually think of me as less than you. Just wish that I knew how something like that could happen. Maybe it's just in passing, 'cause nothing is everlasting, no. But like really though, how do you know that I can overcome all of the obstacles? She just looked me in the eye, said it's gonna be alright, 'cause I know that's how it goes. The only thing we know is that we change. Nothing's ever gonna stay the same forever. Forever. No, it won't, 'cause no one ever does.
This is taking quite some time to compile.
Whenever. As blue as the sky above you. It's true.
Well, I mean, I guess I did make modifications to like the asset manager and stuff like that, so. There we go.
It doesn't make sense that somebody else got all of the praise when you did the
Well,
same thing.
this was not the project I wanted to open.
And they all say it's the same rules when you play.
Let's open this one.
When you know that's not the case.
There we go.
The only thing we know is that we change. Nothing's ever gonna
I have to set that up.
forever.
Well.
No, it won't, 'cause no one ever does. You just have to learn and
What?
trust one another. As blue
I'm sorry.
as the sky above you. It's true that it won't end this way. If you lose and get sad about it, just know it's gonna go away. As blue as the sky above you.
Okay, that is not correct.
If you lose and get sad about it, just know it's gonna go away.
Just use a regular map instead of a sequence. Yeah, that seems to be the way to go. Which also means we can't check this. Where is it? Map sequence map? I can never remember how to do this properly. Because I do kind of want to, well, let's just not do that then. Yeah. Just kind of set that up. There we go. Okay. And that looks correct. Cool. So, probably start working on the editor. Which just default asset editors. Not the material editor. Where are we registering the asset editors? Here. Mesh viewer panel is the one I want to take a look at. That sort of does what I want. That's under editor. Sure. We should probably go through and organize some of these files at some point. Mesh collider editor. Why is that public? Okay, it's no longer used. Whatever. Now, I think... Okay. Sorry, what? Like Visual Studio implement that? Nope. See, this is why I desperately need Visual Assist. Because half the time, Visual Studio just will not create my implementations. What's the difference between render and non-IMG render? I mean, arguably we should not be using non-IMG render here. We should be using this. Use on close as well to serialize some stuff. Cool. Just takes a title. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna update the title to kind of reflect the asset name in here. So I need to keep track of the asset. That's my pointer. Yeah, asset type is not equal. Well, they should already be checked for us. Pretty sure it should. Yeah, because it gets it by asset type, so it should be fine. Set title, and what's it gonna be? Oh, okay. Oh, he gets it by like that. Yeah. That won't be the case for us, because we will do. We need to get the metadata. Oh. Nope. I think it's stem that we want, because that should return the file name without the extension. Well, we might actually. Do we want the extension to be shown? I think for. Sometimes I just wanna murder Visual Studio. Because I think. Okay. Right, so let's just make sure that this works. In theory, that's all we have to do to get it to work. What? Okay, so that's. I know why. It's because in here we never assign assets. And it works. Cool. Now, here's where the fun part comes. Because we have to create a I'm going dock space and a viewport. And from what I remember, the actual mesh viewer panel, well, it was slow. Even on like a real beefy PC, if you open the mesh viewer panel with basically any mesh, you would just end up getting like 100 millisecond frame times. And I don't think Jan ever investigated why, so maybe I can kind of fix this up as well. Do I actually need a scene? Yes, probably, because I need to create like a temporary entity that has the collider on it, most likely. Let's just have a look in here. I can just work in progress and call it a day. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Yeah, no, but I mean, hopefully I can kind of figure out why this is so damn slow. Does it even work still? Like, I have no idea if that mesh viewer actually functions. Because I think the idea is that you open up a like DLTF file. Yeah, and it doesn't work. Well, I mean, it does work, but it obviously doesn't render. Should I see if I can actually get it to work? I suspect it's just we're missing something. Because the rendering system has changed quite a bit since Jan wrote this. Because it definitely used to work. It's an image button. Could just be that we don't have like a skylight or whatever. Well, no, we do actually have a skylight. But it probably doesn't actually create the... yeah, I think I know why it's not working. Well, potentially. Because in here, where we have the skylight component, when you make it a dynamic sky, you need to do this as well. You need to actually create an asset, which he doesn't do here. So, let's just do skylight. And we don't have renderer. I think this might work. Well, it's... I would have thought that would work. Oh well. I'll probably get this set up from scratch and then try and fix the actual mesh viewer. I mean, the mesh viewer is probably gonna need a pretty big rewrite, to be honest. But did he... I assume Jan had a good reason for using online GUI render instead of the usual one. Let's him bypass all of this. Why would he do that? Because he needs to create a dock space. That's why. So yeah, because that wouldn't work with the usual this one, which makes a whole lot of sense. Let's just have this side by side. If open meshes.empty, well, we kind of don't need that. We just need to check if the collider asset is, well, so if the collider asset is not valid, effectively. We have a way of checking if an asset handle is valid, but not an asset in of itself. Or if it's not a valid handle, which don't think we technically need to check that. Yeah, I don't think we need to check that. Or not M window open. Okay. Probably have that as well then. Bailout. And I assume set asset sets window open to true. If it's found, we do that. We just focus it. Otherwise, we go through and do that. I mean, that's pretty easy for me to do. Because I can basically just check if collider asset is equal to asset. We focus the window. Let's grab this. Otherwise, for now we just set the asset and update the title. Although this should always happen when we call set asset. So technically we could just do this. Yeah. Then where is that damn function? Set up a dock space. Dock space. And we prevent you from docking this particular window.
I feel your presence on my skin. I feel you spreading out
Yeah.
within. This time you gotta
Let's
hold
just do
on me.
UI, scoped,
'Cause now I look at
style.
you differently.
Disable padding. Oh, but he only do it for I'm GUI begin.
Don't say you wanna give me space. Ooh, this time you gotta hold on me. 'Cause now I look at you differently.
Interesting. Also, we should do if I'm GUI begin. Well, I don't think that's as important in this case. Because typically you would wrap I'm GUI begin in an if statement, because that way if it's docked and you kind of switch away from it, from that tab, I'm GUI begin will actually return false. But in this case, this window will never be docked, so it shouldn't really matter. Wait, no. This is wrong. We want this to use this. Do I have access to the title from in here? And title. Oh, we can do get title, sure, but so why is that here? Should arguably be here. Oh. Yeah, I can just use get title, to be honest. No, let's store it. Window title. Just use this. Cool. Gets the window, checks if it's double clicked, and if it's okay, it's kind of double clicking to maximize. Definitely want that. I'm guessing that is, yeah, that's just maximizing though, I'm pretty sure. If reset dock space. When would you even do that? Okay, doesn't seem to be used, which is kind of suspicious. Might be true. Yeah, so it's initially true. Because we do some manual dock space building here. But for some reason it doesn't rebuild it anywhere else. No. Okay, mesh collider, editor, dock space ID. Sure. Dock builder, add node. And you'd say that it is in fact the dock space itself. Okay. Then grab it again. Sure. And we initialize a dock space. Well, that seems kind of pointless to provide a bunch of parameters that are the defaults. Yep, just do that. And here's where we would render. Oh, okay, so he actually has it set up so he can open multiple meshes in the same thing. See, that could actually be kind of handy. But for now, I'm not going to do it. For now, I'm just going to get the basic stuff set up. Give that a go. Thurn, thank you so much for the raid. Much appreciated. Hope you had a good stream. So yeah, let's take a look. So presumably this is now a dock space. That does work, although you can't minimize it. Miri4F, thanks for following. Now I can't currently test if this is actually a proper dock space. I'm gonna need multiple tabs to do that. Well, I might actually be able to drag a tab from elsewhere into it. So if I open this and yeah, so it is in fact, well, is it? Yeah, I kind of messed that up. I mean, I'm assuming this is a proper dock space. Oh, and we're currently rebuilding the dock space every frame, which we don't want to do. So yeah, let's have a bool and rebuild dock space. Because we definitely don't want to be rebuilding dock space every single frame. That will be kind of bad. Oh, it actually... Let's have up there. No. Have it on the side like that. So now it should be a proper dock space. If we bring up the audio events, which is dockable, but it might not be dockable in this case, because it doesn't belong to the correct dock space. Sure. Oh, and that's what... Yeah, so that's why he kind of did... yeah, now I'm starting to understand kind of the design of this. Because this would cause the tab to be focused. Right? But yeah, so let's add a render, a tab render thing. Render tab. Could probably hash dock space ID. Don't think we need to get it like that. This should probably be fine. So let's do render tab. Okay. So how do we specifically do a tab? You just do begin. And I suspect this is set to true by default. Yep. For now I'll just game reset dock space. Right now I'm just kind of trying to make sure that this whole thing works. Yeah, and this whole window title, I thought I was kind of clever. I wasn't, because we need to know the name. In order to focus the correct tab, not the window itself. Right? Yeah. which is why we need this to be, for example, Mesh Collider Editor. Because this, yeah, this kind of represents the entire window, including all tabs, whereas this represents the individual tab. Okay. Tab name. Probably need the metadata. Well, do we need the metadata for anything else? Don't think so. File path, stem, string. Make this an actual string. Again, I'm gonna change up a lot of this code eventually. This is literally just so that I can kind of figure out what's going on with the code. Toolbar name. Okay. Viewport panel name. Properties panel. Okay. Let's ignore these for now. Here we actually should do an if statement, right? Because if you're not currently over the tab, then we shouldn't process anything or do anything, any rendering. Doc space ID, which we have. If reset doc space. So we dock, okay, dock builder dock window is what docks the actual tab window to the main dock space. Got it. It does it by name, which is interesting. Dock space ID. And we set up a dock space within the tab, which I'm not gonna do yet. Right, I'll leave alone to do set up tab dock space. For now, all I care about is docking the actual tab. Yeah. So then he does toolbar, properties panel. What about the viewport? Because he set up a viewport panel name here. Okay, so he does that here as well. But yeah, so if I right now just go and do I'm good with text, tab name, C-string. Well, let's do this. In theory, this should now work. I'm hoping. Yeah. What? It's being popped somewhere where it shouldn't be. There's some weird stuff going on here. Hey! We can drag it away and we can dock it wherever we want. We should not be able... I thought we couldn't collapse it. But yeah, okay, so I guess GUI end has to be called no matter what. Which is interesting, because typically with GUI you only call end when begin has returned true. But I guess not in this case. Sure, let's go for that. Okay, so this does in fact work. Now, it would be nice to kind of support this for multiple assets, just like the mesh viewer does. Which shouldn't be too difficult to set up, at least not initially, because we would essentially just have like probably a map of these that maps from a handle to the asset itself, right? So we'd have an unordered map. Well, we could even use this unordered map. A map from an asset handle to the asset itself. Alright, you do open assets like that. Do I have access to map? I should have. So not equal that. We focus it. Otherwise, we do that. If empty, time is precious, time is now. Don't wanna take it slow. Just wanna let you know. Ready to spend some time. I wanna spend some time. Needed some time to grow. Yeah, let's do it as just a regular reference. And assets in assets. We want to render the asset stuff. Could of course just pass the handle itself, but doesn't really matter. Quieter asset. In theory, that's all we have to do to get this working with multiple assets. Now, of course, if you close this tab, which I think you should be able to do, we'll have to kind of remove it. But for now, you can't actually close the tabs. So if I create another Patch Collider, call it player, we open that, we get player. If I click this, right, that's not correct. Why is that happening?
I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and then you will go away. I'm not gonna be begging you to stay. Said maybe if you asked me yesterday, I would handle this shit differently. Things are different, I'm a new me. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. So even if you're asking, even if you're asking, 'cause I do what I do, and it's time for something new. Yeah.
Probably we need to reset the dock space. I suspect. Do we need to reset the dock space for the window itself or just for the tabs? Well, the specific tab. Don't think we need to reset the dock space for the entire window. We do need to do it for each thing, which is probably why we're passing this in as well. Well, no, can't be. But we do need to reset the dock space. So drag mesh collider tab data. Presumably, let's cache a name. Reset dock space. True. And let's make it take in the asset as well. Collider asset. So let's take in that and call open tabs. Yeah, let's just use name. Can I use some place like that? Okay, clever. And he does it as a shared for some reason. Door tab data. Well, this works too. And just to be explicit, we do that. If tabs is empty, tab data. Don't know if... Oh yeah, it should probably be a reference. Let's grab a copy of the metadata. Well, we don't actually need that because we already have tab data name. If tab data reset doc space. Think that should work. Tab to focus will probably want something like that. Open up test, still works. Open up that and it works. Cool. So let's make it so it focuses this. And I think it does that at the very end of online GUI render. Well, close to it. Well, arguably we could always run this if we wanted to, right? Although it probably wouldn't exist yet, so that's a problem.
I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and then you will go away. I'm not gonna be begging you to stay. Said maybe if you asked me yesterday, I would handle this differently. Things are different, I'm a new me. That's not gonna happen.
You need to clear it.
That's not gonna happen.
Because we can't run it when in set asset, because the window won't exist yet, so it won't be focused. But this should solve it. We do that, we do this, and it did not work. Because I forgot to set this, is why.
Don't wanna be stuck in a spot, telling you it ain't what I thought. Don't wanna be stuck in a spot, cause I don't really like what I got.
Still doesn't happen. Which is weird. Why wouldn't that work?
The chase. Now there's nothing here for me. I gotta go, I'll fly away to a new space. You know, I don't appreciate the chase. Now there's nothing here for me.
Why wouldn't this work? Clearly adds it. We set it to the name, which is what we use here. That is very strange. Let's try something else. So if I open player and I open test, and then I double click on test, it does focus it. Dan E. Boy, thanks for following. Much appreciated. And if I click, so it does work after the fact, but not initially. What? Okay, so maybe it hasn't had time to properly add it yet. Or something like that. Why doesn't that work? Try this. Nope, still doesn't work. That is very strange. I mean, I get that this doesn't work, because at this point, you know, it doesn't exist. But I would have thought this would work. Because we come in here, we render the tab. Well, actually, let's do this real quick. If tab to focus is equal to tab data dot name, let's print rendering new tab, and let's new tab show the name, then in here we do focusing. Matty 882, thanks for following. Possible that it doesn't render it until the next frame, some weird shit like that. Okay, so if you look, rendering and focusing, okay, we open up test, rendering and focusing. What's the deal? Hang on. Let's try this. Before I'm going to end. Nope, still doesn't work. debug this. The name does exist, so it probably doesn't find the window, I suspect. But why wouldn't it? Is this creates it or updates it? Does it have to render like 2 frames before we can actually explicitly set focus? Because it should do this. Does this work for the mesh viewer? Because even though the mesh viewer itself doesn't function properly, it should probably. What's up, Eddie? It should probably still kind of remotely work in terms of animate. Yeah, it can work. The mesh viewer either. But it does work. Okay. I have a feeling I know what's going on here. So in theory, right, if I were to somehow delay this by another frame, it might work. Yeah. So let's have a quick test here. Add a static size D frame counter. This is very hacky, but we increment each frame here, and if frame counter is greater than or equal to 2, let's start by checking that, and we set frame counter back to 0. This is a bit hacky, but I think we can't focus it until the second time that we call on GUI begin or something like that. Right? Yeah, see, now it works. Now it works. So if I reduce this, because having this be 1 would basically just be exactly what we had before. So this is super annoying. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Okay. So that feels like a bug behind GUI to me. And I have a feeling it's this. The update window in focus order list. Possibly. Oh, it's probably this actually. Because we don't set the size, so it's technically not rendered for the first frame. Because it needs to calculate its size. Well, okay, so I'm gonna keep this for now, like this.
let's get back to real life. Talking about that real life. Holding on 'cause it's
That's mildly annoying. Okay, well, I'm gonna take a quick break for a few minutes, and I'll be back in just a little while.
Every day I see miserable people doing things they hate just to fit in. I know it's easier to get along peacefully, but have you ever thought about you? Don't know why I keep on doing what I'm told to do when the rules are made up by someone we never knew. Baby, wipe your tears and hear me out. We don't need someone to feel alright.
And we're back. Okay. So, we now have this working, and again, I don't like this. Let's call it focus frame counter. I don't like this, but it's like if that's what I have to do. Wondering if I'm GUI has like a function that I can check. Possibly is window appearing. Let's actually do a quick test. I have no idea how this framework works, but wouldn't there be some sort of flag to foreground a window when creating it? I don't know. There are flags to disable it, but the thing is, it doesn't even happen. So there's no point in disabling it. Doesn't seem like there is like a good way to make it, because they I'm not sure. Like, I would think there would be a way to basically say, hey, focus this tab when it's appearing. Because that's not happening by default, apparently. We do have this, where we can basically set the next window to be focused, but that always happens. That doesn't just happen. Well, actually, hang on. Name set next window focus. Yeah, maybe we can do this. Possibly. Kind of doubt this will work though, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't work. That's annoying. And I think that's for the same reason here, the fact that the window technically is not focusable for the first frame. So we'd still kind of have to check that. I would have personally thought that yeah, I would have. What am I working on? Currently working on kind of refactoring the way mesh colliders are done. Basically, making them an asset instead, so you can better. 1 second, just gotta plug in the charging cable. Here we go. Yeah, so there's some issues with mesh colliders, and you currently can't control any of the properties of a mesh collider, and I'm just making them assets so we can actually do that. Right now I'm kind of building up the preview window, well, the editor for mesh colliders, and I want you to essentially get a preview of what the actual mesh collider will look like, because we had some issues with that during Let 'em Dare. Specifically when it came to like really big meshes, physics would essentially try and reduce the number of vertices by welding some of them together, but that caused problems for the terrain, right? So I kind of have to be able to tweak those settings per mesh. But yeah, no, I would have thought window like Angui would have some native way of actually handling this. I could potentially do if this and I'm GUI is window appearing. Well, no. If this and not is appearing, we do this. Well, more like we do this. What's that tab you called? You mean the dock space? Yeah, no, still doesn't work. What if we do this? The thing that is not focusing, it's a tab. It's literally like the window itself. So tabs in ImGUI are just a window, right? Because we use ImGUI begin. But to be honest, I think I'm just gonna leave this and use my very kind of hacky solution that I have here. Because this works, and I don't know that ImGUI actually has a native way of making this works for tabs, because the whole dock space thing is still technically in development. It's not actually in the master branch yet. They may actually have already fixed it in the kind of main branch here. If we search issues, focus. Owen Codes, thanks for following. Let's see what we have here. do that. Bring force tab in dock space to front. Duplicate of the is not coming forward on essential press. Well, I mean, that's almost exactly what I have. Like, the only difference is I'm not doing set next window dock ID, right? That's the only difference, I think. Wait, no. Ah, crap. I need to comment out this as well. Let's just do an if 0. Wait, no. But again, I think the problem is that because they use a button here, obviously a couple of frames will have paused. Right? Which means that they wouldn't get this. But the thing is, I might be check the duplicate. Yeah. No. That's not actually what I'm looking for. What's up, Owen Codes? It's going good. Trying to get some freaking I'm GUI dock space stuff working. Doing some physics related work. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with this code because I don't think there's any other real way around it, to be honest. I might have, because the thing is, I don't think it's even a bug, right? It's obviously not the way I would expect it to work, and I think ImGUI should definitely handle that internally. So maybe open an issue. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. The Chudo, good evening. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna open an issue. I'll probably do that later today, because I think this function should effectively handle it. So that if I were to call this up here, if the window just appeared, it should probably delay the actual code in here until the next rendering frame. Because otherwise we have to kind of manually handle it like this, which is annoying. Okay. Let's maybe start working on the actual like settings panel. Kind of setting up the dock space here. Because what I want, yeah, I should keep the flag internally set and only cleared after it's been actually shown or something. Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise it's just so confusing. I don't think that's something that we should have to manually deal with. So the idea is that each of these tabs are going to be its own dock space. We're going to have a viewport, right, just like we have in here, that will just kind of deal with showing the actual preview. And then over on the right side, we're gonna have a another docked panel that has all of the kind of mesh collider settings, right? So we have to make it so that each of these tabs have their own dock space setup. And luckily Jan has already written this code for me. So I'm just gonna steal it. Where is it? He does render mesh tab. Here. Toolbar, do we want that? Reset the layout. Probably want something like that. So toolbar name, and it's an ID, so we just dot on name. Tool bar. What's up, Tony? Nice of you to stop by. How's it going? And let's call it settings panel. Oh, Daniel's in here. You were able to catch the stream, huh? Right, and we need to tell this, but it will have a menu bar. No flags. Menu bar. I'll go to begin menu. Hello? Okay. Begin menu bar. Trying to copy an app I made for Android to iOS and now I'm stuck. Yeah. Cross-platform compatibility, especially when porting like from Android to iOS, it's just impossible to keep things exactly the same in terms of like the visuals and even like functionality can be hard to replicate. Yeah, sure. So we're gonna need these to have an IMGUI ID, call it doc space ID. At least I have something running even if it's just a widescreen. Yeah, I'm a Twitch affiliate now, Eddie. Which is kinda cool. The only annoying thing is I don't actually like, unlike Twitch partners, my VODs get removed after 14 days instead of 16. But everything else is really nice. Okay, so this is the dock space. builder split, and takes in a root node, the direction, size ratio. Well, we don't actually need this. Because, well, yeah, we do actually for the toolbar. Okay. And opposite, which would be the duck down thing. And then we need left and right. Daniel, thanks for the subscription, man. I appreciate it a lot. Damn, Daniel. Yeah. You just had to, didn't you, Tony? Toolbar name. And dock up, I assume. Alright, let's do viewport panel, dock down, no, left. Interesting. And the settings panel is to the right. Dock builder finish. Okay. So create a minimum size. Let's just steal this. And I'm gonna put it at the top. I haven't heard that in years and you have to go and say it. Yeah. Tony do be like that. So we need a stack. Oh, right. And I need to set it to get ID let's do a doc space name. Let's get the ID for that. Ooh. Then let's yoink this code. Doc space ID. And we don't need to provide the rest of the parameters. Hang on. I don't need toolbar. I don't think. We may want it in the future, but for now I'm just gonna get rid of it. Which means these are unnecessary. Because the toolbar is kind of its own thing, and I don't really need to do that. Auto hide tab bar, which is what we want. Yes. So viewport panel. Oh, node blanks on right side. Dock node blanks auto hide tab bar. Yeah, tone is definitely awesome. In viewport panel name. Viewport. I also set the padding. Sure, let's do that as well. LR window padding. Yeah, you're kind of awesome, Tony. And then we do the settings panel. Do we have to do those in order? I suspect we don't, because we do kind of associate the direction with the names. Edit Dev, thank you for subscribing. 3 months. That's awesome, dude. Highly appreciated. Settings. This should just magically work. Right? Let's hope so. And it does magically work.
Devotion and stardust. I'm broke, got it all in control. Now I know what I want, like a natural woman.
Cool.
No, I'm not a girl anymore.
Okay, there we have another one that gets banned.
I'm not going anywhere.
If my computer it wouldn't be so slow. Let's see here.
He's blessed with easy
Bam. There we go.
I got a good guy, feeling more than right in his care.
Cool.
You know I need you, and I need him every day. Now I'm confessing, I need his caressing.
Okay, so that.
In the real
Okay. So.
independent woman, but we're
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't actually had that many like bots since I started streaming. I think it's been like 3 in total. So it hasn't actually been too bad. Should remember to do utils. Oh, min size X. Let's not have that be that big. Let's have it be like 250. And for the viewport, we can make it a bit bigger, I think. Like 350. Also, that's kind of annoying that... Yeah, I'm sorry, that is not 200. There's no way that's 200. Stop lying to me. What is that? What does this do? It does style. Okay. Yeah, no, that is not 250. Alright, whatever, let's have it up here. Oh, he actually has it for the dock space. Okay. Interesting. That's behaving a bit weird. That's a bit better. Okay. I suppose I should actually start working on exposing these things. Actually writing up the UI. So... how is it that I serialize stuff again? Tony can tell you all about UI. That's true. He can. Asset importer serialize. Okay. UI before functionality. And we need to provide the asset. So let's make sure we have asset importer. Let's...
Christmas is coming, yeah. Better be nice if you want your present. Tell all your brothers,
probably have it up here.
mama and papa too. Christmas is coming, yeah.
If should serialize.
Looking out the window,
City importer serialize. Of course, they.
spotting some sleigh rides and some jingle.
Okay, we can just give it the asset. So tab data
Tell all your
asset. Cool. Now, that's not what I want to do. I wanted the seem to have lost it. That's the one. The mesh. Let's start with that. So we'll do UI begin property grid.
Christmas is coming.
Should probably grab the bold font as well, or the large font maybe.
Celebration and surprises. Tell all your brothers, sisters, mama and papa too. Ooh, yeah.
I think 0 is the bold font.
Sisters and mama and papa too. Oh yeah, yeah.
Property asset reference. Right. I think there's a problem with that function, and I think I solved it in the editor workflow branch.
Hey there, buddy.
Property multi-asset reference. Also, Peter didn't use "No summer is coming, not Christmas."
I'm just checking in.
Is there a Christmas song on?
Far too long now since I last
Oh,
saw
yeah,
you,
there
my
was.
friend. So happy Christmas.
What are these Christmas songs? Let's see here. Just a quick moment. All right, I'm back. So Bitraptor, I cannot put on some Avicii music because I would be going against the terms of service for my affiliate. My contract, like, I cannot play copyrighted music. So, unfortunately, no. We will not be having Avicii. Although I do love his music. Some epic music. Just gonna order some food real quick.
Hold up, wait a second. I need to know your title. Turn around, I need a minute. Are you anybody's wife yet?
Truly epic, yeah. It's a bit underwhelming, but I mean, it's epidemic sound, so I don't know. Do some pop. Okay, sure. Just go ahead and crash on me. Okay. The food app just crashes. There we go. So, right. This property has a multi-reference. Do we have that in this branch? I don't think we do. Conversion. Yeah, I don't think we have that. So let's go and snag it from here. This one. Yoink that, which is right underneath the regular property asset reference. This one. Cool. And I want mesh and static mesh. collider mesh. Give that a go. I did unmute, yeah. Yeah, I did. So I'm probably gonna end the stream in like 10-15 minutes because I have to go and pick up some food. I'll be live again on Sunday at 6 p.m. my time. I've scheduled the stream, so you can check it out in the schedule tab on my Twitch page. I'm not going to be programming. I'm actually going to be playing The Witcher 3. Because I have never played it before, and it was on sale on Steam, so I figured I'd go ahead and grab it. Okay, that's what I want. So yeah, on Sundays I'm probably gonna be streaming The Witcher 3. And I'm probably gonna be doing that until I finish the main story. Oh, there we have that. We have the submesh index, which should only be shown if the collider mesh is a dynamic. You have 160 hours in it. Ooh. I've heard some really good stuff about it. I watched one video where I kind of saw just the beginning of it, but other than that I have no clue what it's like or what the story is, so I'm super excited to play it. I'm gonna have to prevent myself from playing it before Sunday, just to kind of give it a fresh, you know, have it be like a fresh experience, but I'm super excited. So if probably just do this mesh metadata. Do you have a gamepad? No, I don't. I was planning on getting an actual controller, like an Xbox controller. But the thing is, they are sold out in the entirety of Sweden, it seems. Alright? Some local stores might have it, but I can't buy one online. They're just not available, or they're super expensive. So unfortunately, I can't even get a hold of one. Entirety of the FPS strategy and MMO competitive games in general. Yeah. Alright. Oh. Because it's not a pointer. Pointer asset. Submesh index. So minimum value 0, maximum value. We're actually gonna have to get the mesh as well. Mesh. Get submeshes. Dot size -1. Is that the way? Do I have the scene arc panel anywhere? No, I don't. Oh, actually, we don't need the submesh index. Because if it's a dynamic mesh, we would use. You sound very unsure, Peter. Yeah. If it's a dynamic mesh, we will use all of them, right? Hello? Thank you. Right? So I don't know that we ever actually use that. Yeah, I don't think we do. So, let's just not expose it. So I think I can actually get rid of the submesh index in that case. Think. And I closed the serializer. No, it's asset serializer. So let's just do that. Anybody good in Rust in here? Not sure if Rust is that popular with the people that watch me. Well, I guess you never know. Again, do we ever set this explicitly? Trigger the material. Yeah, again, I think whether it's convex or not is a matter of whether it's a static or dynamic mesh. So in fact, this can also go away. Although, I mean, that probably won't always be true. I can see some cases where convex mesh would, well, no, actually. Yeah, no, there's definitely a case where we'd want more explicit control over that. But for now, let's take it out. So that leaves the mesh and the material. We're also going to have some other settings and stuff like that eventually. But for now, I just kind of want to get the basics up and running. So... Acharluck, thanks for following. And sorry for completely butchering the name. And the physics material, which is going to be a property asset reference. Physics material. Also, I'm literally being cooked alive here, because it's so damn hot in here. Huh? Okay, what happened here? Invalid. The test is fine. Okay, that's the borked one. Let's delete that. That should have serialized it. And it did. And if I go and set an actual mesh to say pot plants, it works. Cool. Now we still have some stuff to work on. We need to make it so that we can actually minimize by double clicking again. We need to get the viewport up and running, and we need to get some more settings in here. But this feels like a really good start. I may actually stream some more tonight, because I'm super excited to be working on this. And I really want to get it up and running quickly. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream pretty much now. Let's see if it switched. No. My keyboard shortcuts are broken. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, grab some food, and I might stream some more tonight. So thank you all for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys later tonight, or if not, on Sunday. So